are back.
Welcome to Cavalry. Our most frequent guest, maybe? It has to be, right?
Yeah, is this number 4 or number 5?
I think it's number 3.
Oh.
No, it's not. It's for sure 4.
You've gone to the
You've been
well.
with Jen twice, and you've been on solo either once or twice.
Well, I swear, if I'm ruining it for anybody, I'm ruining it for myself because I hate listening to myself and I never listen to anything I do or watch anything I do. So this is going to be the episode I don't listen to.
Yeah, but
you're in the right business.
So you still have to download it. You don't have to listen, but download it, unsubscribe, resubscribe. That way.
Yeah.
I listen to all your episodes. I huge fan.
Well, we've just
I think for the ones I'm on, then I skip.
Right.
yeah, except for the.
Usually it's the opposite. People just listen to the ones they're on, and they don't listen to.
That's true.
I'm like you, Christina. I can't. I've never listened to the show. I can't. I only listen when I'm editing, and I still have to like skip sometimes because I'm like,
Oh, yeah. No.
I listen and I love it, and I jerk off while I'm listening. I got no problem.
We were just gonna talk about cruises because I read this thing about how there were like 10 COVID cases on a ship, but what I was gonna say was it's funny how it's like no longer. It used to be that would be like front page news, and now I think we are entering that phase of the pandemic where it's almost refreshing that we're just sort of like, it's just like a thing. It's like an annoying gnat, but it's no longer stopping anybody from doing literally anything.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what I was going to tell you is my buddy is on a cruise for his first time. Former guest Jason Russell.
Oh, he's been on.
He was on. His first run was a 10-week run. He gets off in like a week and a half, like December 19th or something.
Well, I don't think I'm ever working on NCL again because my agents wrote me and they were like, do you have 90 minutes of family-friendly material? And I was like, I couldn't even respond to the email. I just put it on Facebook. I was like, my agent, do you have 90 minutes of family-friendly material? And I was like, I'll see myself out.
Physical Zoom comedy is back. For those
I love the swivel chair on Zoom shows. That's the only thing I'm gonna miss about Zoom comedy is my swivel chair.
It's so
well, hopefully it's not going anywhere. But what I was going to say is, so he's on a cruise ship, and he's like near the tail end, and he found out that like, I can't remember his story because I wasn't paying attention, but he was like saying that like, there's people that working that have things on their door. They have to stay in their own, because they're, don't enter this room, like for this, the maids or whatever, don't enter this room. They're in quarantine, but they're not always in there. So it's people that have COVID, but it's called working quarantine, where they still go to work, but they are quarantining.
They've been sent to the corner.
They're just quarantining from recreational activity.
Right. Right. You still cough on your food.
That is the ultimate capitalistic fucking
working quarantine.
COVID knows not to spread when you're on the clock,
Yeah, I have COVID, but we could go go-kart quarantining if we want.
You should leak that to some like news outlet. That would be pretty scandalous.
I think we just did.
Well, you say that line he was on, did you?
Huh?
I'm just like baffled at like okay, so whatever, all the new variants, it's like Omicron, Delta. I'm like, is this the new fraternity that's come along to fuck me? Why are they all Greek letters, right? It's like, I should be scared or play beer pong. Like,
that's how you. That is what is more dangerous, the Delta variant or the Delta at Arizona State University?
Exactly. Delta. Can we get you? And then it's like, and then Jen, actually, we already did this on my podcast last week, Jill and off, whatever. I'm hacking it up right now. Whatever. I don't care. It's late.
Sure.
And then Jen was like, when you think of like something good to say like a day later, So then Jen was like, "Why, if the virus is from China, why aren't the letters in Chinese?" And what I should have said was, because then we'd never fucking understand, right? Like we would never figure out those letters.
Well, that's
offensive?
funny. They changed the names of the variant because it was like politically incorrect to go, because if like right now they would call it the South African variant, right? Because it was first
Right.
in South Africa. But then they're like, no, that ruined South Africa's reputation. It's not really their fault or whatever. So they went like, what's the most sterile way we could Greek alphabet? But now I feel like the Greek alphabet has been tainted. Now we're gonna forever think of the Greek alphabet as like disgusting and dirty pathogens,
Disease ridden. Yeah.
It's so true, man. No more trips to Santorini. That's it.
Oh.
We're done.
I thought of like tweeting a joke when Omicron I first read about it. I was like, I don't know if anyone would get this, but I would be like, oh no, I just got upgraded to Omicron Plus on my all those Delta jokes.
From Delta, yeah.
I was like, what's the way to do this? And then I thought about it for like an hour, and I was like, this is not worth anybody's time.
Also, if I said anything offensive on this podcast already, and I think we're like 10 minutes in.
Not even.
Football today.
Okay.
I did have some beverages, and this guy bought me a shot because I randomly ran into somebody who knew it was my birthday last week. It was a festive afternoon.
Oh no, this is the drunkest I've ever been on this podcast because I'm on cocktails tonight. We had some vermouth I had to finish up, so we're doing Manhattans.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Look at me. I feel like such a schlub.
Miller
Me and
Lite.
my Miller Lite.
I tried to order a Miller Lite tonight, or because I was like, oh, I have to podcast tonight. I can't be drunk, and I'm like a big ABV nerd when it comes to beer drinking. So
What does ABB mean?
Alcohol by volume. So it's like
ABV. I thought you said ABB.
Oh no, ABV. Did I? Maybe. But I was at a bar that was so dirty that when he pulled the tap, like the wrong beer was connected to the line. So he poured me an IPA, and I tasted it, and I didn't complain. And he's like, "You're not drinking a Miller Lite, are you?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "Why didn't you complain?" I was like, "I don't care."
Upgraded. You got upgraded.
This is a higher ABV.
Higher ABV.
I'm the opposite of a Karen. I'm like a Karen with a C. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it slide.
Care less.
I'm a care less. That is exactly what I am.
Yes. Did you do a show tonight or no?
No, but remember how I met, like when you guys said like 10 o'clock Sunday, and I was like, yeah, I was like, sometimes this girl messages me on Sunday at the last minute. She certainly did. But she did it too last minute even for me. It was like, she's like, can you host at 8:30? And it was 7:30. And if it had just been a spot, I might have gone, but it was a hosting thing. So I was like, well, then if you're the host, you're like a hostage.
Yeah.
Like you're there for the whole show, and I didn't want that, so I just.
I don't blame you.
Did we even introduce Christina properly, or did we just start talking?
No. I think our guests where we literally have not said her name. Go ahead and introduce our guest.
Even better, I feel like I already got canceled from something I said 7 minutes.
Oh yeah, so this is great. Yeah, so they don't know who to cancel.
Anonymous guest.
Oh yeah, we'll just never say your name. We'll never reveal who you are.
The diehards know. The diehards know.
The diehard is me.
Hilarious, Christina Walkinshaw, the never to work on cruise ships again. Incredible demand.
Self-surrendering.
Actually, I filled out paperwork. It looks like I'm gonna start working on Carnival.
Oh really?
Party time.
Party time.
Yikes.
I'm probably gonna be better suited for that place, right? Look at me.
I don't know.
Am I Carnival style?
I never did Carnival.
I'm curious to hear what you say because I've heard. I mean, forget the shows, but it's just all about the living conditions.
Oh yeah, I've heard
Status
stories.
I am a little worried about that, but I don't know. We'll see. I just filled out my paperwork. They do a background check on you. We didn't get that on NCL.
Oh.
I don't remember. Maybe they did it and they didn't tell us. I don't know. But yeah.
No, you like fill out like weird private investigator like paperwork, and then you have to get yourself. I can't. This is the second time today I can't think of the word. You know when you have to like get a signature from another person to validate that you are who you are. What's that called again?
Letter of recommendation, a vouch.
Notary.
Notary. Yeah, I had to get notarized. So I had
Notary.
to get notarized and then send the paperwork off.
That's
And
hilarious.
and it was so weird getting notarized. Like, I know I've never done anything wrong in my entire life, but I was still scared. I was like,
It's just, that's what they told me. It's just a dude with a stamp, like, or person with this, you know, women can be notaries too. But gender disparity. But it's
so progressive, Andrew.
yeah.
Nice catch.
That was funny because when I did these Middle East like military shows, and they were like, yeah, in Qatar, you got to get your COVID test stamped. And I was like, by who? And they're like, it doesn't matter. They just love stamps. They want to see a stamp. The guy literally said, he's like, they just want to see a stamp on it because it looks better. You know, if you don't have a stamp on it, they'll probably be like, what the fuck is this? And
That's hilarious.
just get a stamp. And that's all a notary is. It's just a big stamp.
It's not like the person that notarized me knows me.
No, it's all Middle Ages. It's just like a pressing a candle wax into a, you know, letter, and then you're like, okay, this is a seal. This is official.
It's official, yeah.
Totally. I should have got the Calvary podcast to notarize me. They
Oh,
know.
we should be notary.
We should. That's what we need. That's what we're missing.
We should become notary publics. We can make that a Patreon level. Like if you subscribe long enough, you can get anything notarized for free.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Then whenever anybody needs to get notarized, we just come to you, and because I didn't really know where to go to get that done. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know. It's such a weird world.
Yeah. There's some tax firm down the street that does it.
Probably some random like not wannabe lawyer, you know, like somebody who didn't quite make it through law school. Like, also hilarious that Carnival is the one that needs the background check. You know what I mean? Like the one, like the passengers are literally ex-cons from the country, you know, like just straight out of. And then, but oh no, the comedians need to have background checks. Like that's hilarious.
I know, that's what I thought too. I thought NCL was a pretty professional, clean cruise ship, and then here we go, background check.
Well,
crazy.
Excited. We'll have you back on after your first Carnival cruise. We'll hear how it goes.
Yeah, get all the dirt.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm sad. But maybe like if you guys keep working on NCL, maybe our ships will like cross ports.
Maybe they'll crash into each other.
Maybe finally we can go viral.
That's usually what I'm rooting for if I'm on a cruise ship, is for
to crash into another one.
On that third beer, and you're just looking at it, and you're like, God, what if we could just crash into this shit?
Yeah.
I forgot. Oh, but I was excited to have you on because the second I texted you, you're like, I've got like 3 topics, and I'm pissed. You're like, I'm so ready for a Cavalry appearance. So
I am raging. I was raging about a month or 2 ago. I know it's funny because, you know, on your podcast, you guys always say, if you guys want to rate and subscribe or leave a comment on the podcast, we'll get back to you.
Yes, we are familiar.
good plug.
Yeah. In case the listeners are curious if I actually listen to the podcast. I like when you guys have people on the podcast that have clearly never listened to it before.
Well, that's not
like, what are we supposed to? Oh, I didn't.
And then me and Andrew yell at each other. We just yell at each other for not prepping the person.
That's usually Johnny's. Johnny's usually the one who books the person, and then they come on and they have no idea what the podcast.
No, but I told Greg Hahn. He was like, "Wait, what?"
I believed you with Greg. Just giving who Greg is. I believe you that you told him, and he just totally like, what the fuck is this?
Like, what? What is this stupid crap?
It makes me laugh. It makes me as a listener laugh when the guest doesn't know what the podcast is about.
It's easy to adapt whatever you came in with. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, I don't know, but is this pre-show banter? I don't want to like cut pre-show banter short.
Well, I do want to ask. So this is good that we have Christina because we haven't talked a lot about running
Just call
while
me
you were on the
Christina.
Christina.
Okay.
I don't know what I said.
We're
It
all
came out
drunk, aren't we?
Too many of these. Too many of these. We'll blame it on the ABB. Anyway.
Drinker is the drunkest dude in here.
So right now, Christina is at the top of my leaderboard.
Yes,
She's above the almighty Phil, which is impressive.
And I took a couple days off as well because it was my birthday on Tuesday. My birthday was November 30th. So then the next 2 days, and I had a house guest in town. So like my whole like routine was just kind of thrown off. So I only started running, I guess, on Thursday or Friday. No, Friday. But I've ran like 3 days in a row. I've been like hitting it hard now, but like.
Yeah, I noticed. Today was my first day of the month running.
I know, I saw it. Did you like it? Oh yeah, you saw the stickers. We already.
Yeah, she just so Christina will run in the shape of dicks, so that her map, when you look at it afterwards, it's a dick, and it's a lot more impressive than mine. I mean, not my dick, but when I have done that. Okay, that came out really weird. Her dick is way more impressive than mine.
No one can blame you. Her dicks are like a mile long. I mean, who?
Technically, my dicks are in kilometers, but
That's what's funny. I'm the only person. I'm so out of shape. My running routes are actually shorter than my actual dick. So I'm doing up cardio to get to where I can outpace
your penis.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying for like a year now to run in the shape of a dick. Like I've just been trying because they're like they have these little stickers that you can add to your run when you post them.
Figure out a route.
Sometimes I'm running through my neighborhood, like what streets will form a dick. Like it's just I don't know why this is my goal. It's not even some girls like run to lose weight, and I run to like make a shape of a penis on an app. Like this is what motivates me. Okay, I'm.
No, but this is what I love about comedians. Like, how many people is that joke for? Like, how many people see?
Probably just me. and Johnny, I don't know.
Well, your other friends that are on you're connected to on the Nike app. But you know what I do? When I do that, I try to do it in a soccer field because it's like there's this place where there's a bunch of soccer fields. So I'll just run and kind of try to keep a mental note of where I am. But it always comes out all weird. Like the balls are like way huge.
Maybe you could try to like run in the shape of the Calvary. Could you just like run up C A back L? I don't. Can you do it?
I could try.
As usual.
You're spelling Calvary even as you're explaining.
God damn it!
I accidentally run in the spell Calvary. Damn it! Got to start over.
The person who's on the show the most and is our best listener still Calvary.
Calls it Calvary.
A huge fan. I know I'm your biggest fan, and yet I don't know. Even I was doing like gigs out in Connecticut, and I passed all these like I actually saw signs for the other Calvary.
Yeah.
And it's like promotions for your podcast in my brain. I'm like, ah.
Wow, that's a weird.
That would be like if we ever got to like another tier of listenership or something. But that's something we could encourage people to do is like go to those churches and take the L's off the signs on the church.
Well, they'd have to move the L. They can't just take it off. Then it would be Cavalry.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, just move the L. That's right. Yeah. Okay. Mr. Miller Lite knows.
That's why I drink wine on your podcast. It's the blood of Christ.
There you go. It's perfect.
Very appropriate.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, I did want to ask you though. Do your feet look just hideous? Like my toenails are black, and some of them are dead and like disconnected. And so I was curious if yours were too.
I'm so glad you're bringing this up because 100% since I started running, my toes have taken a real turn. Like I feel like I'm officially banned from the foot fetish community.
Yeah, it's
sad. I think like
thank God you've been embraced by the burping fetish community because
thank God for the burp fetish people. They love me. The foot fetish community. Oh no, they're gonna be like.
They're gonna see themselves out.
They're gonna see themselves out.
No, but wait, is it like reverse? Because like there's like the foot binding used to be very popular. like in the, I don't know if it was in the Middle Ages or something, where they'd break the feet of women and tie them as tight as they could, and that was like a fetish thing. So maybe there's a part of the foot fetish community that wants to see like gnarly, mangled toes.
Have you guys ever looked yourself up on WikiFeet?
We're not on there.
On
Have you looked?
WikiFeet?
On WikiFeet.
I don't
What
think
that is.
It's like Wikipedia for feet. And
Why would I be on there?
Why would we be on Wiki?
honestly, you might be on there and you might not. I didn't know I was on there.
We're
And then-
on there?
Yes.
How do you get put on there?
I don't know. People like find pictures of you on the internet, and if you've ever taken a photo of yourself with your feet in the shot, it goes on WikiFeet, and then people rate your feet.
What if you have to be without shoes on?
Well, yes.
Okay.
It's not Shukapedia.
Shoekopedia. Well, it's not Feetcopedia either.
Okay.
Wikishoe is what you meant
Let's
to
just
say.
cut to it. Let's just
Right, I should have said Wikishoes. I fucked it. I messed up.
let's get to the heart of it. Everyone's thinking it. What is your rating?
Yes.
So I have 3.5 stars. I have okay feet, but that was pre-running. Now I'd be like -2.
Oh, so you're lucky. You're lucky you got on there when you did.
Oh yeah, my friend found me, and she was like, she found me on WikiFeet, and she was like, I think it's so funny because my sister is like anti-social media. She's like, I think it's so funny how your sister is not on social media, and yet she is actually on WikiFeet, because it's a picture of me, my sister, and another fellow comedian friend of mine from Canada, Brian Hatt. It's the three of us in this photo, but I guess it's summer and we're in sandals and everybody's feet are in the picture. So that's what's on WikiFeet.
All right. I'm looking up WikiFeet as we talk.
I can't wait to find out if you guys are actually on WikiFeet and you don't even know.
No, that'd be a great Patreon post. If we are not on there, we could just post the feed.
If you did a Patreon, it was just like your guys' feet, you'd be surprised. But like people would pay money. People would click on that.
I know there's like female comedians sometimes they blur out their feet on because they know they can get money for it. Much how I tell you, don't just burp on the internet for free, you know, because you know you're going to get money for it. Wait,
Exactly.
That is too funny. Beaner, no results. Slater, no results. Why? I start WAKI. Christina Walkinshaw? There's all these pictures, but it's not. I thought it would be like just your feet. It's like just you with pictures without shoes on.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I can't even see your feet.
I gotta believe women are more popular on WikiFeet than men. I'm not gonna take this
than male runners.
I don't think that any woman has a fetish. Oh shit! I'm scared. Oh yeah. Oh,
There you go.
post running, I'm telling you, yeah, my feet are. I'm gonna get banned from WikiFeet after running. The feet are getting grosser by the day, and so I'm gonna back you up on it. I know that we're not like, you know, cavalrying it up yet, but I'm gonna back you up with like toes do get grosser as you run more.
They're gonna add a warning when you type in your name on WikiFeet. Are you sure that you want to see? You have to double click yes.
Nobody from DS. There's nobody's gonna like Al Bundy you at the shoe store. They're not gonna like help you try a shoe on. They're like, you're gonna have to take this one on your own.
Yeah, there's a back room if you want to do this in private.
Have you guys tried the individual toe shoes? Would that help the foot running situation? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's like barefoot running. And there's people that like run, like my buddy runs in those. That's just a whole different game. I don't think it would. I don't know if that would help with the toenails, but
it seems like it would help if your toenails falling off or something. It seems like a good idea to try.
if there's no cushioning. They're like beach shoes.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm so scared. I'm going to Maui next week. I have to be in like open-toed sandals next week, and I'm terrified because I know my feet look like crap.
What can you do? Just put Band-Aids over the gross nails.
I know. So we're like, oh my god, why is Christina wearing Sorels on the beach?
Yeah.
Wear your clogs.
That's what I feel like people that wear Crocs know what's up. Those are the people trying to hide their toes.
Yeah.
You don't need to see this. I've never been self-conscious about my feet before. I've been self-conscious about a lot of things, but not my feet.
I'm self-conscious about my feet. I feel like that's like 100%. If you call this episode the foot fetish episode, I bet you're gonna like weird random extra hits.
Oh, done. Foot fetish.
All right. Hashtag foot fetish.
Hashtag it's over. Anything to boost the numbers a little bit, especially during the holiday season. You know, it's a little tougher time. People are busy. So yeah, let's get some weirdos.
Yeah.
This episode will just be called the feet flurry.
Yeah. Feet love Christmas. There's all those big buzzwords.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, should we get into it, or are there any other pre-show topics?
No, let's get into it. Let's get into, again, Christina, when I texted, you were hot. You were fired up. You're like, you got me at the right time. I'm ready for some backup. So
this might be a Christina exclusive if everything goes according to plan as far as how prepared I am.
Oh, for sure, for me.
Where we just help you this week.
I was excited. It's less about the content of the show and more about I have nothing left to say.
Right.
Running dry.
We are drying up here.
Oh, this is me. This is my current affair, my Inside Edition episode of the Cavalry.
All right.
Okay, so I need to preface right off the top that I just had a house guest leave my apartment, and I need to say that this is there's one nugget I will say about her at the end, but this is not about her. But this is basically about house guests.
Okay.
You guys have house guests a lot?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay. So as you guys know, you can see the backdrop. I live in a studio apartment in Brooklyn.
Is this a 2-level studio apartment?
The staircase goes to I have like an outdoor, like I have a patio.
Oh, okay.
So that just goes to the rooftop, whatever, private little cute patio. Yeah. But as you know, if you're my house guest, you're gonna stay in my bed. Okay, which is fine if you're like a good friend. And again, this isn't about the good friend that just stayed with me.
Sure.
But I was in Tampa like a few months ago, and I know like one girl there or whatever, and I met her one time, by the way, one time in real life, like for like 2 hours. I was like, oh, if you want to come see, my show or whatever, I'm going to be at Side Splitters. And she's like, oh, I'm not, but I'm going to be in New York soon. So if you want to have a multi-day slumber party. And so I was like, yeah, totally. Me, I'm pretty agreeable.
She's offering you this party at your house.
This is just
multi-day slumber party. I don't investigate. I was just like, yeah, totally, sure, like whatever, right? Was I even reading the text at the time? I was probably like, sure. So then I get a message the week of, and she writes, am I still cool to stay at your house on Thursday night? And I go, sure. I was like, because she's also like, she
sure, are you bringing the party horns and balloons?
Bring popcorn. So she is like, I met her through my neighbor. She works with my neighbor, so I'm like, obviously, don't put that part in the clip. Just like, But I assumed last time she came to town, she stayed with my neighbor. That's how I met her.
Okay.
So I assumed that maybe she was just going to stay with him, and maybe she wanted to like pop over for a night just to get out of that. Maybe have like a little girl bonding or whatever. I don't know. But I did warn her. I was like, I'm going to live in a studio, and like I have a king size bed, which is fine. Like I don't, I can have a friend over and we could be on different sides of it. But it was all really, it's a really weird conversation to have when you're fucking 40. Do you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, you sleep in my bed, and I won't like, if you do the weird thing where you feel bad when you toss and turn. You don't want to like face the person that's sleeping in the bed. Do you know like that moment where like I better just like
I don't know because there's no planet where I'm inviting someone to sleep in. I don't know. Even people I do know. I can't think of a time. But go ahead. I'm not relating to that at all. I was just thinking the whole time you were saying that, I was just thinking about like how different I am, because I don't think people would even, it's just like you present like a positive, ask me a favor energy, be my friend, and I don't. I put something else into the world where people just aren't even considering it.
You people are like, Andrew Slater, can I come and stay at your house and sleep in your bed for a week?
People come to Portland all the time, and I see their Instagram, and I see they're like at.
They're taking selfies in front of your house. Hey, my friend lives here.
Like Andrew, I might bother him. It is very, I think about that sometimes. Like, what am I putting out there to the world? Why does everyone think I don't want to see them? But go ahead.
Okay, so am I still cool to stay with you on Thursday night? And I say, yeah, sure, no problem. And I felt good when she said on Thursday night, because she didn't really like say how long she was planning on staying at my place for, right? So
no, but that implies one night.
Right, for sure.
Thank you. Okay, so I've already got backup on like the first nugget of my story.
Yes.
So then she gets here, and then she brings up her suitcase, and she starts unpacking. She's like, I was like, oh, let's like, it's like just a carry on. I was like, just a carry on. Like only psychos check bags. Good for you. Just
putting up framed photos of her family. Like pulling out an urn of her grandmother's ashes. Okay.
Wow, for one night, huh? All right.
So she opens her suitcase and she goes, yeah, this is all I packed for 11 days.
Ooh.
And I'm like, 11 days? I was like, are you staying here for 11 days? And then she's like, oh, yeah. I was like, oh, you didn't mention that. And then I was like,
oh my gosh.
Well, I have like things to do like on like Sunday, Monday. Like there's nights I sometimes like sleep with this guy who lives in Staten Island, and I will never go there. He has to come here, and usually it happens on Sundays. So if you could like, and then I was like at a podcast on Tuesday nights, but it was like so awkward, and I'm not good at telling people to go. So then I had said, can you go stay at, at the neighbor's house, our mutual friends, for like a couple of days, and that like, and then she's like, no, I'll just get a hotel. So then I'm like, well, now I feel like shit because you don't want to stay with the person you actually know. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, here's the deal. Why don't you go for 3 nights, whatever, get your hotel, then you can come back here and close out the rest of the week. And part of me was like, maybe it'll be fun, right? Maybe, she's newly single, I'm single, maybe we'll have fun. No, does she come all the way to fucking New York just to watch Netflix and Hulu? I'm like, I even invited her to a show, like a really good show on the Saturday night, the last Saturday. And she's like, no, I think I'm just going to stay home and chill. I was like, oh, you mean
stay at your home?
Without me? I'm like, wow, that must be so nice to be in my apartment alone.
Oh.
I'm not even done. I'm not even done the rant, okay?
I'm going to stay home. I got some cleaning to do. Oh, okay.
So then, I don't know. Okay, so here's where I really need your backup, okay? All right, so at the end of the week, I'm like, surely she's going to leave me some sort of appreciation. Somebody comes to your house, stays with you. They leave you like a nice Starbucks gift card. Or maybe when they showed up, they brought you like a bottle of wine or something. There's always some sort of like a thank you gift at the end of it. Somebody saying, I just saved her $1,000 probably more than that on hotels.
Yeah.
By getting to stay in my apartment for 11 days in New York.
Yeah.
And like, not only did she not leave me a gift, but I think she accidentally left some tuna in the fridge. And so now I get to like clean out her like her doggy. I'm like, now I'm the maid for her doggy bags that she didn't finish in restaurants. And then on her last day, she buys a cruise ship vacation in front of me. She goes, it's a little pricey, but whatever. I'm like, well, I'm so glad I saved you enough money to be able to afford the Jericho cruise ship. And then nothing. She leaves town. Nothing excepting the fucking creepy tuna, the little tuna snack pack in the fridge. I'm just saying, here's where I need backup. If somebody's gonna stay at your house, I don't even care if it's for 1 day or 11 days. Don't you leave them a thank you gift?
Yes.
Yeah.
But okay, I'm backing you up so much. Like, obviously, a gift, of course. But I have a theory with house guests. It's like the longer they stay, the less it's like it's counterintuitive. But the longer they stay, the less appreciative they actually are. So like if someone stays for a night, they would leave you a gift card and chocolate and a bottle of wine and go, oh my God, you saved my life. Thank you so much. But if they're there for like 9 months, by the end of it, they're like, fuck you. I can't this is bullshit. They're like claiming squatters' rights and eminent domain or whatever. You know? Like it's totally backwards. The people's like there's just like some level of like you just develop like a sense of entitlement. Like when she said, I'm gonna stay home to watch Netflix. Like, this is not your home. There is no Tampa. If you're gonna stay home. Don't bother me.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, leave a gift. I mean, you probably save your, what's a hotel in New York City average, like $200 a night? So you probably save your like easy like $1,500. You know, you can't, I don't know.
Wow.
It's crazy.
I know, and you're right when you say like the shorter amount of time, like the more grateful the guest, longer, less. Because I stayed with my friend in LA for 2 nights, and I literally like went on Etsy and I made her a personalized face mask with Bette Midler on it because I know she loves Bette Midler. Like I do something special to say thank you. Like
yeah. No, I know. There's something about it where even if you're getting the favor, if you resent the person who's helping you because you have to be there, because in your mind you don't want to have to be there for 11 days. Like in your mind you want to go to New York and you want to be able to stay at the Ritz or something, you know. Right. So you're kind of mad, and then you end up being mad at the person who's helping you out.
Yeah, and I'm such like a, I'm just not good with confrontation, and I do like to be helpful, and like, I don't know, just I can be quite go with the flowy, but there were so many moments during that week, like when she's like working from home, so she's working on Zoom at in my apartment, and I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, am I in the way? Is he work in my apartment? I'll just go. It's okay. I'll go.
Audacity. She's working.
Working from home in my apartment, and I feel uncomfortable. I hope I'm not in her way.
See, I feel like I would be the same way, like with Christina, because I'm such like I would want to, it would be uncomfortable for me, even though she's the one putting you in this weird situation. Like when she drops the bomb of 11 days, I probably would. I mean, I would have handled it very similar to you, where I would have been tried to be accommodating, be like, oh, okay, let me see. So I'm just curious. So Andrew, let's say you're in that situation. What do you say? What do you say?
I no, okay. Well, it's just hard for me because it's just I've never been or will ever be in that situation. If I'm in an apartment in one bed, the idea of sharing the bed with someone I did not know intimately well is just so out of my. But okay, I would probably do what you did. I would come up with a few nights excuses or say like, COVID is great. I like that's where COVID is out of a lot of this. If you just said like, oh, I have a sore throat.
That's a good one. Hey, just so you know, I got the Johnson & Johnson.
I've been feeling Omicron-ish.
You'd be like, oh, I think I have COVID, and she'd be like, oh, that's perfect. So do I. We're already all set. Oh, fuck. All right.
She lives in Florida.
Like that wouldn't work. COVID for someone in Florida, COVID does not. Yeah, no, you're stuck. I mean, at that point, but what I wouldn't like is when she's like, oh, I guess I'll stay at a hotel for a few nights. Like, yeah, that's what visitors to cities do. From home, so it's not like you're even. You're making money. Like whatever her job is, it's a high enough professionalism to be done on Zoom. So I'm sure there's like a salary situation. Like you can afford like I don't make a lot of money, but I like when I go places, I get hotel rooms. You know?
Me too. Like unless it's like a friend that's so successful they have a guest room,
Sure, right.
which was my situation in LA. My 2-day stay at her house, then still got her a gift, even though she's like, I got a guest room. Like I want you here. Like, and this is also a person I didn't really know staying in my bed with
That's
me.
the weirdest part. Which, by the way, I have a guest room here in Portland. Still, people, that's avoiding it. We're going to Portland, but we don't. Let's not say anything. Let's just drive right on through. Tony, if you ever come to Portland and don't say something, I'm going to be very insulted. But
and I feel bad. So if you make a clip of something in this story and I don't repost it, just so you know, she watches all my stories. But like, whatever. I feel like if this is the way she has to find out.
Can we go back and can you explain how you know this person? Because you said you met her for 2 hours in Tampa, but what does that mean?
Oh, sorry. I actually met her. She's a coworker of my neighbors, my next door neighbor. So we went out for drinks like, I don't know, well over a year ago. And I do like her. Here's the thing. Like, she is nice. I just don't think she has this self-awareness to understand that maybe staying at somebody's house for like 11 days, who you barely know, is like a little, you know. It's
well,
I do like her. It's just, yeah.
I think that, I mean, the biggest thing is just like, you had no notice until she's standing in front of you, bags on the floor. Well, it's going to be a fun 11 days. I thought it was Thursday.
I had to go back and reread like all our messages. I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
And of course, you know, we're not two people that talk on the phone. So I read everything. And the only thing that I should have followed up with was the term multi-day sleepover or multi-day slumber party. She said multi-day slumber party. And I just thought, what could that possibly mean? Like a couple of nights?
Yeah.
11 days.
11 days. 11 night.
11 days.
That's not that's like, can I move in for a little bit?
That's a third of my rent. Yeah, that's a third of my rent.
Yeah.
You're paying rent now. That's a lot. Like,
when you have I relate to it because when I had roommates in LA and they were all comedians, it was house guest. So that was a different situation. So we just always had someone crashing on the couch or in the corner of the living room on a futon or mattress or whatever. Like,
oh, you must have had tons of poinsettias just all over your house as gifts from all these comics.
All the thank yous from comedians. Thank you for letting me stay here.
Johnny, that is
candy cane I got for free from Santa.
That is so funny you said poinsettia because it was on Poinsettia Place in Sunset.
Oh, really?
My apartment was. But we had, oh my God, just endless comedians crashing all the time.
Did they leave? I literally at the end of the week, we went up for dinner one time and I thought, oh, surely she's gonna like pick up the first night she came in. I was like, oh, maybe she'll pick up the tab. It wasn't a lot. We had like one drink and some apps. I was like, oh, maybe she'll get like, I don't know. If I was staying with you, I'd be like, oh, I got this. Like, thank you for taking me in. Mm-hmm. But like, I mean, I'm not even joking when I say like nothing, not a gift card, not like thank you. There's always, I've had people stay here before. There's always a thank you gift at the end of the week.
Women are better about it. Like dudes are worse. So that's even, you know, I don't know. We were all dude comedians. So we always had like dudes who would crash, you know? And so, and you're right about the fact that you can like the person, but they can still just have no awareness about how to be a house guest.
Yeah.
We've had him on the show. Mike Cummings stayed with us in LA for multiple months, you know, just crashing, no rent, just on the couch, you know, he'd moved to LA, didn't have a plan. And so that was it. He was just staying with us till he found a place. And I like Mike, he's my friend, you know, but you start to stare at that person and you're like, I fucking hate you. Every slice of pizza that they eat that they didn't specifically pay for, you know what I mean? Like everything bothers you. Yeah. And at the time Heidi is like mortified by the story of it. I was like first dating Heidi and I was coming back to the apartment with Heidi And it's bad enough I live with, it's a smelly, gross comedian apartment, but then to also have Mike living on the couch, I mean, it's like a horrible situation. A woman. And so as we were walking around the corner to our steps to go up to the apartment, I was like, oh, Mike better not fucking be there, and he was standing on the steps with his bicycle because he was locked out. Oh, I better not be there. Like, he was so mad.
Oh, you said it out loud?
I said it out loud. I said it to Heidi because I was.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, but then we got over it in 2 seconds, and I said that, and he heard it, and I was like, yeah, he deserves it. But
gee, I wonder why people don't look you up when they're going to board.
I said that in front of. They better not fucking be there when I get back.
Oh my God.
And I'm such a positive person. I tried to put like a positive spin, like halfway through the 11 days. I was like, because I was venting to a couple of friends, and then I was like, okay, here's the positive of it. I know I have a lot of bad habits, and it's one of the perks of being a person that lives by themselves. You can get away with all your fucking bad habits. Like, there's no witnesses. Do you know what I mean? I can do whatever the fuck I want. With the witness, guess what? Scaled back my life a little bit. Like, I'm so wholesome. I couldn't do any of those things. I couldn't fucking Jill off, though. That was, like, driving me nuts. But that's a standard habit, a bad one. But so at least
those 3 days in the middle, right?
I was like, oh, I go to bed at 10 o'clock, too. Totally.
Yeah, how do you do when you're sleeping in the same bed? How do you handle bedtime? You just have to go to the bed at the same time?
You have to. You just have to. Oh, you're ready for bed. I guess I'm going to bed too. Like, is that what it's like to be married? You just go to the bed at the same time as the other person sleeping in your bed?
I imagine.
No. I always go to bed like 2 hours after Aaron.
I imagine it's like this Dickensian, like you guys put on stocking caps and like blow out a can. There's like 6 of you all long in one bed, No, it's rough. It's rough having a house guest for.
Yeah. Especially.
And I've shared a studio apartment before, but it wasn't a house guest situation. It was we had bunk beds, and we were both paying rent, and that's hard enough. But at least
oh my God!
Wait,
was that in LA?
When I first with Brian, my buddy Brian, a funny comedian, but we moved. He moved to LA from Seattle before me, and so when I moved down there, I moved in with him in his studio, and we had bunk beds. No, he had a lofted.
So cute.
And a couch.
I was like, how old are you?
Like on the pull-out couch. And then you would cook. It was like gross. It was on Gower Street. No, I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah.
And back then, that part of Hollywood was pretty shady. But yeah. And then that was bad. But at least you're both paying the same, and you're both like, yeah, this sucks, but it's like we're both doing it.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, it's equitable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Oh no. So the part 2 of my what I need backup on, which is about my most recent house guest, because I just had my friend Julia Lakowicz, who's very funny. I love her. She's been a friend of mine for like 15 years. So of course I'm like, and she'd already heard me vent about the other house guest. Like,
wait, how long ago was the other house guest?
What was that?
How long ago was the 11-night house guest?
I'm gonna say like 2 months ago.
Oh, okay. A
couple months ago. So, but I already told Julia about her. So I don't want to be that girl. I'm like, you're my legitimate friend, and I want you to come visit me. Like, this is different. So like, well, we had a ride. We had way too much fun, in fact, because it was just, this is only my second year living in New York, but now I'm getting this feeling of like, oh, when people come to visit you in New York, they want to go out and do everything all the time. And then, you're supposed to go along for the ride. So you feel like a tourist in your own city. And I was just like, go, go, go. I was like exhausted by the end of it, but it was so fun. But here's where I need backup. So we're in bed together, and I'm like, I don't know if I repress all my gas in the middle of the night, and then in the morning I like need to push out like a giant fart.
Sure, sure.
That's what my body does. My body, I guess I'm not like a sleep farter. So I fart in the bed. And Julia's like, ew, Christina, no, don't. And I was like,
the nerve of her.
How dare you?
I'm the owner of this establishment. Like, if you can't fart at home, where can you fart? And she's like, no, please don't fart in bed. Don't you think that if I own the apartment and it's my bed that I'm allowed to fart whenever I want?
Yeah, you're allowed to. Sure, yes, you are allowed to.
Yeah, I was gonna go the same way as Johnny because as a married guy, I've learned because when I was single and had the bed to myself, yeah, it was just like a symphony on, especially if you're drinking beer and stuff and you're farting. And now it's like you're holding it in, and like sometimes like I have to go to the bathroom to pee at night, but then that's like, okay, now I'm gonna get the good farting done, and then you're almost worried. I'm almost worried it's gonna be too loud from the bathroom. It's like,
yeah, you wake her up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she was sensitive about like going to the bathroom because it's a small apartment. So whenever she had to go like number 2, she'd play music, so I wouldn't have to listen to it.
So you would know.
This is the same routine I used to have when I was not teenager, when I was in university. If I had sex, I'd turn on music so that my neighbor wouldn't hear my sex. And like she does that like when she goes poo. Like she's like, play some Vanessa Carlton for you.
It was like the same songs, like the songs you used to associate with getting laid. Now you associate it with your roommate
taking a dump.
1,000 miles.
Huh?
So what you're saying is I should be allowed to fart in my own home?
No, I'm trying to find a way to back you up, but I'm impressed. Here's how I'll back you up. I'm impressed with you being self-confident enough to let them rip just next to your house guest.
That's my true friend. I've known her for like 15 years. So she knows my brand. And in fact, we were in the bar that night. We were at a bar and somebody farted so bad. I felt like I had to fart in front of her just so like to prove that wasn't my brand in the bar and that this is my brand. So I should fart so she doesn't think that I did that thing in the bar.
So maybe when she heard the fart, she was upset because she was expecting the bar stink to come out of the sheets if she thought that was yours.
You thought that was you all along.
Yeah.
She is even she'll say this about herself. She's very like censoratory, if that's a word. Like she's very, she has like, sensitive, like she, like things affect her quite fast. Like she knows things right away. Like, yeah, she went to the bathroom at a bar in Gramercy like 2 nights ago, walks into the bathroom, and it smelled so badly of shit that she threw up.
Wow.
Yeah, but she wasn't drunk. She'd had like 2 drinks. She's like, I wasn't drunk. I just walked in, and like the smell was so powerful. I was like, I threw up. Like, she's like, I couldn't even control it. I threw up like on the floor.
You get this backwards. This is what you should have been doing with the house guest you wanted to leave.
Yeah. That's right.
You're right.
I mean, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
No, but they're from Florida. There's no way. There's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do. They're there to stay. And she hit me up again too, actually, the Florida girl. She was like, hey, you might be coming back on these days. I'm like, I'm really busy. I have lots of booty calls scheduled that day. Like, it's so hard for me to say. I have no good excuses. I can't believe I have kids. I have a boyfriend. What am I going to say? I'm like, I have mold? Like, what do you say? Like,
yeah, I mean, you got to say something. You can't just be held hostage to this. Every time you come, it's just assumed that you crash here,
Hey, you got a boyfriend, or like you got a guy is there all the time now or something.
People know. I don't have a boyfriend. People know.
Or you just there's someone who's Say you have a different person staying with you. Oh,
I thought about that. Well, I thought about being like, oh, I'm pretty sure maybe somebody's gonna be staying with me, or about like subtly being like, oh, there's this guy who actually stays in my apartment when I'm not staying here, and he actually pays money for it, so I'm gonna give it to him. Because I do have some of that rotation, where it's like when I leave town, I go on the road. If somebody's like coming to town, I'm like, we get in my apartment, a wee transaction, a little side hustle. It's great.
Uh-huh.
well, you got to do something. You can't repeat the mistake.
It can't. It can't.
I wish I could gift you my aura that just tells people don't ask.
Can you please? Gift me your aura.
People talk about I need boundaries or whatever. My boundaries were just a God-given, invisible, like dog fence, you know, where dogs wear the collar and they know not to cross and they get electrocuted. I don't know. I'm just kind of talking this out now. This is like therapy for me, but I'm like, I feel like that's what I've been putting out there. Because like no one ever offers me drugs. Like Johnny, have you ever been offered like real drugs before? Like
no.
A weirdo or cocaine or some sort of hard, not marijuana.
I have once, but not a lot. But I mean, I have been offered it once. You know, it's funny. Real quick side story. These people are trying to get me to do coke at a party in Chicago, and I was like, no, I don't do drugs at all. And I got a fucking nose. I just randomly got a nosebleed at this party. I'm in the bathroom. And this guy was like, I knew it. You got your own. You got to give me some. And I was like, no, I'm dead serious. I have a nosebleed. Oh my God, it was the worst.
That is so funny because like that's the level of coincidence some people have been on the electric chair for. And
yeah. Yeah.
Listen, but you just got it for cocaine.
Right.
That is such a crazy level of coincidence.
Oh my God.
I know.
It wasn't like a guy looked exactly like you happened to murder a whole family or something.
Right.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. But yeah, that's what I mean. Like, so at least you've been offered once. Never in my life. I've been, now I know from like past talking to people later. I've been at lots of parties and places where it was happening. It was all around. No one ever thought, let's clue Andrew in.
Why you're saying you just put out a vibe? Hey,
yeah.
I don't do drugs, or don't you dare offer?
No, just like not like I'm a narc or something. I think I just put out like a heavy no.
Just have a no vibe of you.
No, nah.
Big no energy.
No. Sorry, Christina. I didn't mean to hijack that, but
no. Here's what
hilarious.
This is what Christina could do. I'm taking a page out of Andrew's book unintentionally. Here's what you do: you text her and act like you think you're texting me or Andrew, and be like, "Oh my God, that girl." Ass, and then right after you send it, be like, oh my God, I am so sorry. That was supposed to go to Johnny. Because it sounds like you know her so little that's whatever. Okay.
Such a level of passive aggression. I'm so impressed.
There's actually a better chance of me like communicating in a passive aggressive manner than there is me being direct sometimes. If it comes to only when it comes to saying no. You can see I was a great woman of the 90s.
That's great. That is Johnny, that is genius.
I plan though. I like it.
People should.
I even told my neighbor, I was like, did you even offer your apartment to her? I thought she was going to stay with you. And he goes, yeah, I did, but she didn't want to stay here. I thought he was lying. It turns out, no, he did offer. But his place is so gross. He has fruit flies. Like, he has fruit flies in the bathroom. God. Like, in his toilet, he has fruit flies. Like, listen, we've all done some real numbers in there, but, like, have you ever gotten fruit flies in your toilet?
No.
Johnny, this one's for you.
I'm going to answer no. I got to vocally say no, because I'm sure people are like, why aren't they answering?
Well, and also, like, fruit fly, the flies are supposed to go to the toilet. Fruit flies are supposed to go to the kitchen. That's the nature.
Yeah. Right.
Supposed to be going for the food.
Yeah.
Regular flies like shit. That's why they differentiate fruit. Have you ever used? I do these. We did get fruit flies sometimes in the kitchen only, and I use those. I try to do those like traps. You know, have you ever made one of those where you do saran wrap on the and the?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This shit is useless. Have you ever gotten that to work? Really?
It catches like one or two, and then the other fucking 90
I get one, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it doesn't work. I don't think they're fruit flies.
To the drawing board.
I think they're gnats.
Yes. Yeah, that's what that catches, like that oil vinegar type little mixture you make or whatever it is.
I don't know. I'm not catching much. That's all I know. It's a big wasted dish soap. Apple cider vinegar. Yeah. Half my year's supply of apple cider vinegar. I need this.
Yeah.
I feel so bad that I monopolized your whole podcast. Do you guys have anything you want backup on? Because I only have one more thing I want backup on, and I feel like it's not even. I'm not even as ragey about this.
I want to talk about one. I'm going to talk about one thing really quick. I don't need backup on it, but I forgot to talk about. I got my booster shot. Did you guys get your booster?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was your experience? It was so different than the first two. Like just getting the shot. Like all the fanfare was gone. I found it very.
Oh yeah, they don't give a shit. Now they're just.
Well, I love my booster experience.
What?
I love my booster experience, but I just went outside for coffee, and there were these like vans parked out in New York. There's all these like booster like vax vans like everywhere.
Yeah.
So I just walked outside for coffee, and I was like, "Oh, can I get a booster shot like right now?" She's like, "Yeah, you're in and out of here in 15 minutes." So then I go in, I get my booster shot, boom, done. Then you go to the second bus for your like, post 15 minutes to make sure whatever time. And then I was done. And then I put it on Instagram, and I was like, I just got like boosted on the back of the bus. And then everybody's like commenting like, are you sure that wasn't heroin? And I couldn't even tell if people are trying to be funny or people legitimately think I'm a fucking idiot. Like, I think I just like went and took a needle in the back of a bus. Like, it's an official booster bus. It was great. They were nice, and it was good in and out, and it was convenient. I was trying to make an appointment, and then it was over before I could even make an appointment.
New York does it right. I feel like I found a place that did walk-ins in Portland, but it's so funny. You still had the 15-minute like wait here so we can check on you. We didn't have that. They were like, gave you a shot, like get out of here. We got to get some more people. There was none of that, and literally. So I was standing in line, and they would only had Moderna left. They were like, we're out of all the other. What we got today? It's like today's special was like Moderna. So I was like, I had the same question, but a guy in front of me was like, hey, I've had the Pfizer. Is it okay if I get boosted with Moderna? And I swear, this is literally what the pharmacist said. He was like, sure, why not?
Why didn't he just say, I don't fucking care?
Yeah, he sounded like Johnny when people were trying to get backed up. Who gives a it was so funny.
I'm a mix and match too. I'm like, because I got Johnson & Johnson, and now I have a Pfizer in me.
Yeah, that's better.
Welcome to the club.
I heard people
vaccinal or whatever it's called. I don't know what you call it.
People talk shit about Johnson & Johnson, but I just read today that like the Johnson & Johnson is the good booster. So if you did Pfizer or Moderna first, the two, then you go back and get the Johnson & Johnson, like that's the secret sauce.
That's the Cadillac of
X. The mix and match is good. And I feel like getting like unboosted is the new unvaxxed. You got to get boosted soon, otherwise.
Yeah. I'm way past.
People are going to start judging you. You haven't got boosted yet?
Oh, yeah. No, I'm going to go for my fourth. Just see what happens. Going back. I'm going to get on CNN, be the most vaccinated dude.
Just be judgmental of everyone else.
I'm a vaxaholic. I can't stop.
Those people get addicted to tattoos and they're all over their face, I'm going to just be like...
Johnny, you need backup?
No, I don't. I don't. I am so well adjusted. I do that. I do think it's funny. The whole you're you fart. You're fart. You're in the bed, and you rip a train fart.
Wait, folks. Let's quit talk. All right, let's get back to the serious issues. Enough of this booster vaccine, COVID. Come on, can we focus here? When you're farting,
when your thigh is touching your friend and you're farting and it's a long one, I think it's fun. I just think that it's so funny that you're like, you sound offended. You're offended after you fart. Like, whoa. It's almost like I just picture you like squatting over her head and shitting on her face and her being like, whoa, you can't do that. Hey, I'm letting you stay here. Okay? I'm letting you stay here.
That's the price of staying here. I get to poop on your face.
Yeah, that's just assumed.
I just don't have a foot fetish. My thing's something different.
like, hey, it's New York City. You go get another place. Try it. Try finding a hotel or something without getting your
forehead shit.
You're gonna get weird smells in New York no matter who you stay with. Like, it might as well be a friend, right?
That's right.
And to be fair, all my first farts didn't smell, but the last one I did definitely did. So I was like, okay, that one was bad. But
did the wake up fart smell?
No, they were always good. I was like, they were loud, but they never smelled. But then the last one I did, definitely like, okay, yeah, that was a doozy. But
isn't it weird? Like how you can? Isn't it weird how you can tell? You can like tell what your farts will smell like as they come out. Isn't that so interesting?
It's not true.
Yeah.
It is true. It is so true.
No, it's not. And you got. Let me tell you something. I went to journalism school. Okay.
So did I.
Let me tell you a little something about conflict of interest. You, Johnny, and you, Christina, are not reliable narrators. Okay, there's no way. You can't be the arbiter of your own farts. You have to let the public decide what if your farts are smelly or not. You can't.
No, I'm not saying this is gonna smell good or this is a nice one. I'm saying like you know what it's gonna. You can't describe a smell, but you know like, oh, that's an oily one. Okay, this is gonna be like this one's gonna be, this one's gonna be like kind of sulfury. Like when it comes out, just because you've lived this many years and you've had that many farts followed by smelling them, you just know what your farts. And you sound like my wife. I'll tell her, like, I'll fart and she'll be like, Johnny.
I'm telling you that your farts stink, and you going, oh no, this one doesn't stink, and then like everyone in
no, but it doesn't, because I'll fart and she'll be like, oh god, and I'll be like, no, it's not gonna stink. She'll be like, oh yeah, right. And it doesn't. That's the thing. We never come back to it. I never get credit for being right.
You can't be, the judge and jury.
I know, because I feel like the loud ones never smell. Like the first morning she woke up here, it was a big loud one, and I pushed it out. Like most times you could hold it in, but I was like, oh, like I loved getting it out. But I knew it wouldn't smell.
That sounded risky. That sounded like a high risk fart.
That's what she said. She's like, I think maybe sometimes I'm just jealous because I wouldn't have the confidence to push a fart out because I wouldn't know if it would just be a fart.
Right.
That was her. She said that.
Apartment's like a military base, and that's how you get everybody up.
That's how you get everybody up. That's the bell ringing warning. Friendly fire coming in, like. Yeah,
okay,
anyway.
This is so gross, but I gotta say it now because it's in my head. But like, I feel like the way you know if it's gonna stink, it's not by like force, like you said. If it's loud, it might not stink, right? Or if it's silent, maybe it is.
Exactly.
Heat.
I knew you were gonna say.
Isn't that disgusting?
That's how hot it is.
If it's hot, you're like, oh shit, I need to walk away. But yeah, loud like noise is nothing. That's just like embarrassing.
Yeah, noise embarrasses you. It's the smell that's like.
I think temperature.
Yeah.
It was the SPD that I was embarrassed about, but the loud ones I was like, oh, they're fine. I knew pushing it out.
You know when I know it's really bad? When I know I've shit my pants. Okay.
Have you ever shit your pants?
Oh well, I mean, of course.
He's a human.
Never.
It only just happened to me for my first time like a year ago.
Okay, I had like, this is disgusting, but we talked about this I think on the show.
Please tell it again. I love it.
But I had a bad
on the Patreon or
the one I always think of is like I've had a few like really close calls. Like usually I've had to run for a porta potty or something, or like go in the woods or something. But one time I was late for a show in Tacoma, and I like was literally I was like having like cramps in the car. I was like, oh my god, I just have to make it to this club so I can get to the bathroom. And I was going on, I knew there were people on in front of me. So I was late for the show and the guy's texting me and I'm like stressed out. I was like, whatever. And I'm running into the club and like, okay, thank God I can see the bathroom. Like, I'm going to make it. Oh my God. Because it took a while to park, the whole thing. As I'm running to the bathroom, the dude on stage goes, oh, there he is. Give it up for Andrew Slater. And in retrospect, what I should have done is just gone like, nah, man, I got to take a shit and made it funny and just gone to the bathroom. But I just had that thing where the show must go on. I went on stage and I like couldn't,
Oh my God.
And was it like still in your pants or like going down your leg?
No, I mean, I tried as much as I could to like withhold.
So it came out while you were on stage?
Underwear. It wasn't, I remember thinking like, man, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was. But it was not like, good. But I
did your set?
Did like 35 minutes.
Were you just smelling your own poop the whole time you were on stage?
It was gross, but it was more like crampy, like, that was more what I was worried about. Like it was like it hurt, trying to, but like there was definitely evidence to the problem afterwards.
On the flip side of this, I saw a comic in Ottawa years ago, and I in my brain I'm like, it was one of two comics, but I don't want to accidentally say the wrong comic. I forget, but he, without saying anything, he's headlining a show at Yuck Yucks in Ottawa. Midway through his set, leaves the stage, goes to the bathroom, and comes back. But like much like a guy would do, like, if you're just out of the bar. Men never like announce they're going to the bathroom. They just like walk and go. Girls will always be like, I have to go pee, I'll be right back. Guys, no announcement. But like he was like literally headlining a show, doesn't say anything to the crowd, goes to the bathroom, and then gets back on stage and completes a set. So he probably could have shit his pants.
What do you mean he gets off stage? Like what happens when he gets off stage? People just sit there and inside.
Yeah, we all sat there. It was like very awkward.
No host went up or anything?
Nobody went up. It was just, we all just like watched and we waited and we're like, where did he go? We saw him go to the bathroom and then he came out of the bathroom, went back on stage, and he like kept on doing his set.
Wow. I always kind of figured like the adrenaline would take over, like once you're on stage, because you've been sick and like gone on stage and then all of a sudden you feel fine and then off stage you're sick again.
Yeah.
I kind of thought that's what would happen,
But you found out the hard way. That is not what happens.
You were a trooper. You just went on stage with all of that in your pants. Good for you.
Well, did it come out of your butt on stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on stage when he pooped.
Yeah, no, I walked on stage clean, still like hurting, like really hurting. But yeah, then
that's the show to tape. Oh my God, that would be a show. That would have been the show to review. Be like, all right, where? Now we're all right there. That's where it's coming out.
No, and there's like, and then the thing to do is to do that like cool comic thing where you lean up against the back of the stage, like up against it and like get as far away from the and just lean back.
Yeah.
At least I know you didn't have to like sit on the stool, because I fucking hate it when comics do that. You're not gonna...
That's the last thing you want to do with a load in your pants.
I know, yeah. Thank you and good night. And as you leave the stage, there's just like a big brown freckle in your bumhole. Like,
Huh? Huh?
How did we get here?
I know. I only have one more thing I need to back up on.
All right.
It's
We're gonna do- we've gone
it's
too
gonna be like, it'll be the closer. You'll be like, yeah, everybody's
No.
having this. Christina, game over.
We're gonna
We'll do it on post-show banter.
social banner. So we're
Okay.
gonna do it, and this will encourage people because they're so riveted right now.
Everybody fucking stopped listening 10 minutes ago. Let's not get ourselves.
Patreon.
When Johnny brought it back to the fart, that's when everyone's like, all right.
Like,
All right, so Christina Walkinshaw, do you have anything you want to plug? This comes out tomorrow. This is the livest we have ever done.
Well, you know what? Since Andrew really has some following in Portland, I will be in I'll be in Whidbey Island for New Year's Eve. I'll be at the
nice. That's
I'll
Brian.
be at
You mentioned him before. That's his old. That's where he's from. Stomping grounds, Whidbey Island. He's like the king of Whidbey Island.
I do, you know, I like my Pacific Northwest. I'm going to be at the House of Comedy in New Westminster Christmas week. So it's like, whatever, I lose the Friday and the Saturday, but it's perfect for me because I'm home for the holidays. So House of Comedy, and then I don't know, check me out on Carnival Cruise Ship.
Oh yeah. Well, thanks for doing it. Oh,
Thank
do
you, Maria.
you want to plug stuff before we go?
Who, me? I'll be at Dr. I will be, I don't know if this is public knowledge. Maybe I should do this on post show, but whatever. I'm the last person that will be performing at Dr. Grin's. I'm doing New Year's Eve, and the building's been sold and it's done. Stu told me yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So no, I guess no more Dr. Grin's apparently.
Wow, for Dr. Grins. Never got my chance.
Closing out. Oh, really? Oh.
Did their festival there, but that was it. I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Best of the Midwest.
The clean comedy.
Oh, yeah, the Gilda's thing, Laugh Fest.
Yeah, it was like it's just so insane to look back. It was like me and like Taylor Tomlinson and Dusty Slay, and all these people are like super successful now. And Andrew Slater, who shit his pants in Tacoma.
You're so funny. You guys are both so funny. I just feel like some people knock down doors a little harder than other people, because I never have the guts to ask anybody for anything. That's why I'm like, sure, I'll go to Whidbey Island.
No, that'll be great. You'll have a lot of fun. Whidbey Island's good crowds. You'll be.
It looks really cute. I'm excited to go, and I love Deception Pass.
Where is it? Say the name of the place. Do you know where it is?
No, it's a John Fox gig, and I literally just said yes. But I looked up Whidbey Island, and I was like, this looks adorable.
It'll be great. You'll love it. You'll have a lot of fun. Okay, that's it. Thanks everybody for listening to the Cavalry. If you want to hear Christina's last topic, you got to be a Patreon subscriber and get the post-show banner and leave a comment on what you need backup on in your life. 5-star review. You know the drill. All right, that's it. Thank you for listening to
The Cavalry!
Cavalry!